For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check out g2a.com, and if you need any Ultimate Team coins, then head over to FIFA. The code CHES will get you a discount on both sites, and all links are down below. Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again, and welcome to episode number 35 of the Career Mode Road to Glory here on FIFA 15 with Cambridge United. We're into the first game of the episode, and it's away against local-ish rivals Brentford. Of course, they sit towards the north outer edge of London, and we're only half an hour to 45 minutes north of that, so it's kind of a local derby. They're playing a 4-1-4-1, although I guess that's a really defensive 4-1-4-1. You could kind of say that's more of a 4-5-1 with just the one striker sat very high up, definitely on his own, which is a statement of how we're playing so far this season. Considering they're the home side and they're lining up that defensive, definitely shows that we're in great form, and other teams are respecting that and acting to try and nullify our offensive threats. We're starting with Robbie Simpson and Adam Armstrong up top, though, so Tom Elliott and Kwesi Appiah aren't necessarily going to demonise them in this game, but we are hoping that the rotation strikers will actually do the job themselves. Unfortunately, though, we find ourselves going 1-0 down after just 9 minutes. I think it was Will Grigg is their striker they were playing up top, and he was able to get them the 1-0 lead. However, just a few minutes later, we're going to try and get ourselves back in it if we possibly can. Robbie Simpson and Adam Armstrong linking up, and that, my friends, is an absolute fucking cracker. Beautiful goal from Adam Armstrong. In the past couple of episodes, he's been having chance after chance after chance, loads of one-on-ones, can't quite find his angles, goalkeeper's putting out amazing saves. We were able to get him a goal from a penalty in the episode before last, and then he was able to put away a one-on-one in the last episode on Monday night, and then clearly his confidence is rising high, and just an unbelievable effort from Adam Armstrong there. Delighted for him to get on the score sheet again, and in such an amazing manner as well. We're trying to get ourselves in front here if we possibly can. They hoof away that chance, and that was pretty much how their defensive style was going to be for the majority of the game. You can see we're coming back down the right-hand side with Liam Hughes and Richard Tate here. Hughes is going to whip in a good cross. Goalkeeper's caught in no man's land, decides to come, then thinks about whether he should actually go back to his line. In the end, he's in the middle of nowhere, tries to go for a punch, but he's nowhere near it. Robbie Simpson flicks it on backwards, and we find ourselves 2-1 in front. So we head into the second half, trying to extend the lead if we possibly can. Coming out from a goal kick here, we're going to put together a really nice move that is going to end up with Adam Armstrong slotting through Robbie Simpson first time, dummies the defender to go across him, and then a beautiful slided shot into the bottom corner gives us a 3-1 lead away from home against Brentford, who actually are sat in the playoff spaces as well. So they're not necessarily one of the worst sides in the league either. And to be 3-1 up away from home against a side of that calibre is definitely praise to be given to our side. But they were going to get themselves a second goal here. Eventually, the ball dropping to their man in the middle, around about the penalty spot. Abogo was the goalkeeper in goal. We rotated out Coppola, and unfortunately he didn't keep a clean sheet, but he was able to give us, or to keep them out long enough and well enough to give us a 3-2 victory. A brace from Robbie Simpson and the stormer from Adam Armstrong. Really pleased that the rotation players, when we filter them in, are playing well enough to almost be knocking on the door of a genuine first team place. But the second game of the episode is a massive one if you're a Cambridge United fan. It is Peterborough United away from home. Now, the two sides haven't met competitively for over a decade, because of course we've been in, I say by we, I mean Cambridge United obviously, we've been in non-league and had been in non-league for over 10 years, and Peterborough have been yo-yoing between the Championship and League One, so they hadn't met in the Cup either, hadn't been drawn together, although it did come close a couple of times. But this is the first competitive fixture between the two sides for over 10 years. Got my main man up top, Kwesi Appiah and Tom Elliott as well. Of course, out wide, Harrison Dunk and Jenkins Chikowe. A stronger lineup in this one, but this is genuinely a proper derby. Cambridge United versus Peterborough United is definitely one of the fiercest in the country. I know everybody says that about their local team, but genuinely, this is not a nice derby whatsoever. And we came so close to taking the lead there. The ball bouncing off the line thanks to the defender's header. We aren't quite able to get ourselves in front, but they then came at me, and Oztuma here has a good shot that is well saved by Coppola. Obviously he's been in and out of the side with the Bogo playing well. Bogo conceded twice, so I decided to put Coppola back in, and he made a good save there to get it away. They are in fact going to get the corner though. Davids eventually does whip it in, and it caught me out by playing it to the edge of the box here. Ferdinand finds Payne, and a brilliant first time shot rifles it into the bottom right hand corner, and we find ourselves 1-0 down. You can see the delight of the home fans, and then the United fans sat there, or the Cambridge United fans sat there in the away stand, just not moving, just absolutely furious that we've gone 1-0 down to our biggest rivals, and they were going to come close to a second here as well. Another top save from Coppola towards this top left hand side stops them from extending their lead. So we're into the second half now, trying to get ourselves back in the game if we possibly can. Michael Woods is going to slot through Tom Elliott, turns on the ball and plays in Kwesi Appiah here, and he's racing away, gets all the way around the outside of the defence, and now he's just a whisker away from finding us an equaliser there. The ball rattling the post and bouncing out, and it wouldn't quite fall for Tom Elliott to knock into an empty net, but the two of them were involved again here. Elliott's racing in behind here. That isn't the most aggressive of challenges. Clearly it was a quote-unquote clever foul, a cynical foul, as Tom Elliott was getting in behind, but there were other defenders there on the cover, but the referee saw fit to send Michael Bostwick off with 20 minutes to go. So it really is a proper derby. A red card, the home side scoring first, but the away side coming back to rattle the woodwork. Then they go down to 10 men. The question was, could these two changes I'm making now, Robbie Simpson and Tom Champion coming on to change the midfield picture, to give us an extra striker onto the pitch despite the fact he's playing in CDM, would that work in our favour? Could we get ourselves back into the game? That was the question. They dominated possession though, they kept hold of it with their 10 men, but we steal the ball off them. Kwesi Appiah, please Kwesi, in the last minute of normal time, Kwesi Appiah rifles it into the back of the net. We have a last gasp equaliser away at our bitter rivals Peterborough United, and we are going to get ourselves a point from this game. Now, not only was I absolutely delighted to be able to get the last minute equaliser, that also means that our unbeaten record in League One so far this season remains intact. I'd have been devastated if we'd have lost our unbeaten League One record to Peterborough, but fortunately Kwesi Appiah came up big with the goal when we needed him, and we head into the third game of the episode high on adrenaline. And again, a rotation side, Robbie Simpson and Adam Armstrong back in the starting lineup. There's a lot of rotation going on because these fixtures are coming thick and fast, once every 2 or 3 days unfortunately at the minute. This is the Johnson's Paint Trophy there. Unfortunately we got knocked out of the Capital One Cup early on this year to League 2 opposition in the shape of Newport County, if you remember. Now Southend are also in League 2. Now we beat them quite handsomely last year when we were playing in League 2 ourselves before getting promoted, of course, but we know that Southend are a decent side. They've got Lee Barnard up top, who used to play at quite a high level with Southampton, of course, and also they've got decent players in there like Ryan Leonard in the midfield, who was actually a player I was thinking about bringing in before we got ourselves promoted. But Tom Champion's going to draw a good save out of their goalkeeper Bentley here in the opening few minutes, only 2 or 3 minutes into the game, and unfortunately not quite able to get ourselves in front. We're at home for this one though, at least, so all 3 games really are kind of localish derbies. So obviously Peterborough is the local derby, but Southend isn't too far away from Cambridge, and neither is Brentford. So 3 local games, and a win from the first, a draw from the second. The question was, could we get ourselves through in the Johnson's Paint Trophy? It's 0-0 as we head towards half time. Into stoppage time, Payne breaks into the box. I try and slide with Coulson. I do get there, but not quite far enough to be able to get contact on the ball to knock it out for a corner. Payne jumps over him, slams it home at that near post, and Coppola can do nothing about it. It's 1-0 Southend as we head into the second half. And I thought to myself, we've already got knocked out of one cup competition to an opposition that we battered last year in League 2 that are now a league below us. Surely that can't happen for a second time, and that was an extremely aggressive challenge from their defender there. I'm not quite sure whether it was that so aggressive that was the reason why the referee gave it, because I think, if you see from the replay, I think he won the ball. It may have been aggressive, but I think it was a fair challenge. Just as the foot comes in there, I'm not sure who got the touch of the ball first, or whether it was the second defender there that actually knocked the ball away. But regardless, penalty given, and a great pen from Adam Armstrong, rifling that all the way up into the top right hand corner. 10 minutes into the second half, we were back on level terms. The question was, who's going to score the next goal? Because it had the feeling of the game that it was going to be next goal wins. There on the attack, it's Hurst down the right. He's going to whip in across towards the back post after brilliantly beating Saint-Maximin. It's Ryan Leonard, the man we previously mentioned, at the back post, but he can't keep his header down. It goes over the top of the bar, and we get to breathe a sigh of relief. Now they're coming down that right hand side again, but they're picked off by our new signing, the Peruvian left-back, Ivan Santillan. It drops to Adam Armstrong, who plays through Robbie Simpson. Brilliant turn inside, and the finesse finish with the left foot. 15 minutes from time gives us the lead. We've come from behind, 1-0 down on the stroke of half-time. A big psychological blow, but the character and the determination in this side to get results every single week was enough to see us turn it around. Delighted to do so with a rotation-ish side again, and hopefully that is promising signs for us for the rest of the season. I would love to go on a cup run because, of course, as you can see, the money does come in handy, although only £4,000 added to the transfer budget, which will add, as you can see, less than £100 onto the wage budget, which is where we're going to need all of our money to bring in pre-contract players or loan signings. But the further we go in these cup competitions, the more money we'll get, and hopefully if we can get a positive finish and a really good high level finish in League One this year, we'll actually get a decent transfer budget for the third season. We currently sit top, as you can see, and now Barnsley have finally lost, so we're the only side in League One to remain undefeated. I don't know whether we're the only side in the country to remain undefeated at this point. I will have to check the other leagues, but that will bring today's episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, as always, of course, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, to make sure that you don't miss out on any of this series, or of course the My Player series or the Liverpool Career Mode series, both of which went up yesterday. So feel free to check the channel page for anything you may have missed. Of course, follow me on Twitch and Twitter. I will be opening some Team of the Year packs tonight, trying to get myself one of those midfielders on stream. So head over to Twitch in the description down below, and I should be live around about 8:30 to 8:45. So check that out. Of course, follow me on Twitter as well, so that you know exactly when I'm going to go live. But that will bring today's video to a close. Like I say, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.